Trials are but lessons that you failed to learn presented once again. So where you made a faulty choice before, you can now make a better one and thus escape all pain that what you chose before has brought to you. A Course in Miracles. Welcome to Self-Talk. I'm Rachel Astarte. Today we're going to talk a little bit about conflict in relationships. Specifically, we're going to look at what we need to focus on when we are in conflict. As a couples therapist, it's what I see. Couples tend to focus on what's wrong instead of what's right. And when you focus on what's wrong, there's an implication there that you want to fix it so that you can continue or augment the right. But the mistake is that there has to be both. There will always be both. The relationship is a universe that has light and dark and day and night and cycles and balance. So the question becomes, how are you going to handle the negativity and how are you going to handle the positivity? So, of course, when things are good, it's easy to say, oh, that's so nice. When things are not functioning, what are you going to bring to that malfunction? Are you going to bring more negativity, which will keep it exactly in that space? If you bring positivity to the negativity, you might be able to bring it, either neutralize it, obviously, or you would be able to bring it into the positive. That's the idea of how to communicate. And what stands in the way for most couples is resentment. It's hard to move forward when the past hasn't been recognized and healed. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot to say, I promise I will not carry these wounds with me. We're both going to leave the bags and pack new ones and go somewhere else. We're going to set those bags on fire and move forward with a new understanding. Something like that has to happen. So how does a couple do that? How does a couple put the resentments to the side, burn the bags, and move forward? There has to be desire on both ends. And I don't mean sexual desire. I mean the desire to maintain the health of the relationship. Because what is the alternative? The alternative is not being with that person again. And for some couples, that may be the case. It may be that the relationship itself has to evolve and grow and be something different. Not every couple that gets together with the intention of being a romantic couple can maintain that relationship. People get together for many different reasons, and sometimes the purpose of that getting together completes its cycle. You've opened each other up, you've learned what you needed to learn from each other, and it's time to move on. In which case, it's okay to say, yes, we'll leave the resentment at the side of the road, but we cannot necessarily continue as a romantic couple. We need to shift the dynamic of this relationship so that we can continue to focus on the strengths that were there from the beginning and always will be. And sometimes those strengths are not necessarily based in romantic love. And when I say romantic love, I mean a couple that chooses to be a couple, as opposed to really good friends who get on well. So if the purpose of the relationship is to be a couple, supporting each other, moving through life, then the resentments that build up over time, first of all, have to be understood as something that you individually own. Your resentments come from some wounding in yourself that has not been resolved. And you are the only one who can resolve that. It has to be a conscious choice that you make in your own mind that I need to work on whatever this is that causes me to be wounded. Now, that doesn't mean your partner didn't do something hurtful. That happens. We're human. But are you going to dwell on the negative? Or are you going to look at the positive? So, given the fact that some couples need necessarily to evolve their relationship into something that is not a romantic situation, there are people who wish to maintain that core coupleness as they move forward. Now, if that's the case, then the resentments have to be put aside and you have to move forward with a clean slate. So what happens then when conflict occurs in the future? The resentments are put aside, you're moving forward on your individual paths, holding hands across the path, and when a conflict then arises, each of you has to be able to be aware, oh, this is my thing being triggered, this is my abandonment issue, this is my need to be on top at all times because no one listened to me when I was a kid. Each individual instance of conflict needs to be filtered through your own psyche. Because what is the alternative? The alternative is not having this person in your life as your partner. And when the conflict arises, be aware that yes, you can work together to fix it, but the beginning of that work has to be with you. It has to be. And while each of you is working on your own stuff, it's absolutely essential to give each other space and support for that work. In other words, do your absolute best not to get triggered. Your partner is going through something and you are going through something. And just as you may wish for your partner to support you as you work through your stuff, so will your partner want the same of you. In a way, this is what it means to focus on the positive, not just what is working well in the relationship. Oh, we get along well, we like the same things. Supporting each other in conflict is focusing on the positive, because it is something that you are doing well together for the health of the relationship. There are 3 entities in every relationship. There are the 2 individuals and the relationship itself. When you focus on the positive, when you work together as a team to heal, you are nurturing and caring for that 3rd entity of the relationship. It takes time. We make mistakes when we try to do this. What's more important than anything else is to be patient and loving and kind with your partner, just as you would want your partner to be patient and loving and kind with you. Again, it's a practice and it takes time, and we fall down and we get it wrong sometimes. And when we get it wrong, we need to own that. And if your partner gets it wrong, it's helpful to be as forgiving as you can be. The end goal is to be the highest human beings you can be, your highest selves as individuals together. Because that's what relationship is: support, connectedness, respect, and love. Until next time, many blessings on your path. I'm Rachel Astarte, and thank you for joining me on Self Talk. Aho.